Y'all, Ice Cube just lit WWE on fire, and he's dragging none other than Hulk Hogan straight into the flames. In a jaw-dropping new interview, the hip-hop legend and media mogul exposed decades of racism, silence, and corporate cover-ups tied to Hogan's past, and Cube is not mincing words. In fact, he's accusing WWE of protecting Hogan's image for years while suppressing black voices, burying complaints, and turning the other way when real damage was done behind the scenes. The world remembers when Hogan's racist tape leaked back in 2015, but Cube says that was just the tip of the iceberg. According to Cube, there's more footage, more testimonies, and a culture of silence that runs deep inside Vince McMahon's empire. And the moment this clip of Cube went viral, wrestling Twitter imploded. Fans are demanding answers. Sponsors are panicking. And suddenly, Hogan's Hall of Fame status don't feel so secure anymore. This ain't just about a wrestling icon. It's about an entire system being called out by one of the most respected voices in black culture. And trust me, what Ice Cube says next changes everything. For years, Hulk Hogan was untouchable, a so-called American icon. The red and yellow wrapped superhero of the WWE who called fans brother and slammed giants to the mat. But behind that bleach blonde facade was a dark, ugly truth. And now, Ice Cube is calling it all the way out. In a now viral interview that aired just days ago, Ice Cube didn't hold back. Speaking with a culturally focused podcast hosted by black creatives, the NWA legend finally said what many in the black community and even some in the wrestling industry have been whispering for years. Y'all act like Hogan said one bad word and that's it. That wasn't a mistake. That was a lifestyle. And WWE, they knew. They been knew. They just didn't care. Boom. That one clip alone set the internet on fire. But to really understand why this moment matters and why Cube speaking out is so explosive, we gotta rewind the clock. The 2015 scandal WWE tried to bury back in 2015. The first wave of scandal hit. A secretly recorded audio from years prior surfaced online, featuring Hulk Hogan in an explicitly racist rant where he repeatedly used the N-word and said, "I mean, I'd rather if she was going to F*** some N***. I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot-tall N*** worth $100 million." The public was shocked. WWE terminated his contract and removed all references to Hogan from their website, their Hall of Fame sections, and promotional material. But guess what? Didn't last. Just a few short years later, in 2018, WWE announced Hogan had been reinstated into the Hall of Fame, citing that he had apologized and learned from his mistakes. But insiders and black wrestlers weren't buying it. And now, Ice Cube is here to put that corporate forgiveness on blast. Ice Cube, they wanted us to move on. But what about the people he hurt? In his recent sit-down, Cube addressed not just Hogan, but the culture of silence WWE allegedly enforces. He ain't just say one slur in private. There's people who worked backstage who said this man made them feel less than human, on the regular. According to Cube and several unnamed wrestlers who've come forward since. The problem wasn't just Hogan's words. It was the system that protected him. Cube doubled down. Vince McMahon knew. And it ain't just about Hogan. It's about every time a black wrestler gets cut short, every time we get called hard to work with just for speaking out. Y'all ain't slick. That's when the floodgates opened. Former WWE stars react. Cube ain't lying as Cube's clips spread across X. Multiple former WWE stars, especially black ones, came forward with cryptic confirmations. JTG Crime Time tweeted, "Been new. Glad someone said it on a big stage." AJ Francis Top Dollar posted, "Cube said what needed to be said. A lot of y'all only saw the character. We saw the person." Leo Rush reshared the clip with just 3 words. "Truth always wins." These aren't random fans. These are former WWE talent, many of whom were allegedly silenced, sidelined, or released after speaking up about racial inequality, lack of push, or feeling unsafe. And now their retweets are acting like receipts. Why this is bigger. Then Hogan's racism wasn't a one-time incident. And the fact that WWE welcomed him back, gave him a platform, and never required a real apology to the community is the actual problem. Cube says it best. It's not about canceling Hulk Hogan. It's about holding the people accountable, who let him come back like nothing ever happened. That's where the damage is. And it's true, because when WWE let Hogan re-enter the fold, they sent a very clear message that redemption matters more than accountability. That profit matters more than pain. That the black fans and black talent who felt betrayed didn't matter at all. And now, Ice Cube is forcing the world to look at that decision again, and people are not staying quiet this time. The WWE statement. That didn't help right after Cube's comments began trending. WWE released a weak, vague statement that only fueled more backlash. WWE remains committed to a culture of inclusivity and does not condone racism of any kind. That's it. No. Mention of Hogan, no response to Cube. No specifics. One fan quote tweeted. WWE's response with, "Y'all don't condone racism, but just had Hogan hosting WrestleMania 37. Like nothing happened. Be serious." Another posted, WWE removed Sasha and Naomi for walking out, but kept Hogan after he called us all an asterisk, 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 ass. Okay then. The internet sees the hypocrisy, and Cube just threw gasoline on it. It didn't take long after Ice Cube's explosive comments for the real storm to begin, and what started as a bold statement against Hulk Hogan's racist past quickly evolved into a full-on takedown of WWE's entire corporate culture. Within 24 hours of the interview going viral, insiders started speaking up. Wrestling journalists, ex-talent, crew members, and yes, even fans. And what they exposed. It's not just about Hogan. It's about a pattern of silence, a pattern of covering up abuse, a pattern of protecting big names while sacrificing black talent and voices at every turn. Cube's interview wasn't random. It was a direct response to a WWE phone call. One of the biggest bombshells to drop came straight from Ice Cube's team. A source close to the West Coast legend told the Culture Circuit podcast that Cube had been approached by WWE executives just 2 weeks before the interview aired. Why? Because of rumors that Cube was in talks to co-produce a black wrestling documentary, one that would cover the historic struggles of African American wrestlers in both WWE and WCW, the source says. WWE caught wind of the project. They reached out, tried to get ahead of it, told Cube it might be more constructive to focus on the positives. Basically tried to spin it before it even got made. Cube allegedly wasn't having it. Instead of playing nice, he doubled down, and that's when he decided to finally say what everyone else was afraid to. Leaked email from WWE's PR department sparks outrage around the same time Cube's clip was making its rounds online. A leaked internal email surfaced from WWE's PR department, and let me tell you, it ain't good. The email, posted anonymously by a former social media contractor, reads in part, "In light of the recent Ice Cube remarks, please refrain from engaging on posts that reference Hulk Hogan or past racial incidents. We will monitor sentiment, but avoid amplifying the controversy." In other words, don't respond, don't fix it, just pretend it'll go away. This email confirmed what Cube had just said publicly. WWE doesn't want the truth. They want silence. A shocking testimony from a black WWE cameraman. Then came the most damning story yet from someone inside the machine, an anonymous former WWE cameraman who worked on backstage segments and PPV tapings from 2009 to 2017 submitted a written testimony to a major wrestling blog under the name RH. In it, he claims, "I was present in a room during a production meeting in 2015, right after the Hogan tape leaked. I heard a senior producer say, and I quote, 'We'll give it time. He's too valuable to bury forever. Let the internet cool down.' The blog vetted the source and confirmed his employment history." End of quote. It's now being screenshotted and passed around as proof that Hogan's reinstatement wasn't about growth, it was about money. And WWE was always planning to bring him back. Ice Cube names Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard in the crosshairs in a second. Follow-up clip from the interview. Ice Cube drops a new layer of heat, and he ain't holding back. "Y'all wanna talk? Let's talk." Vince McMahon let Hogan walk back into that ring with no real apology. Bruce Pritchard helped make it happen. There were black men on that roster who said, "If he come back, I'm leaving." And guess what? They got written off TV. Fans immediately began pulling receipts. Remember when Titus O'Neil was suspended for grabbing Vince's arm in 2016? Remember when ACCUSES K.A. Jordan Miles quit over a racist t-shirt design? Remember when Naomi and Sasha Banks walked out and WWE painted them as unprofessional? It all started to connect. The first twist, Cube was approached by WWE for Hall of Fame talks. One of the wildest twists in this unfolding saga. Sources from Cube's camp allege that WWE had previously reached out to him in 2021, after his work with the Big Three League and several powerful social justice speeches to discuss a possible Hall of Fame celebrity induction. That's right, the same man who's now calling out their hypocrisy is being courted to stand on stage next to Hulk Hogan just 2 years ago, and Cube turned it down. "I don't need your flowers if you're still hiding weeds in the garden," he allegedly told them. Now, fans are asking, was this all a PR setup from the start? Did WWE try to use Cube's brand to clean up theirs? And when he refused, did they underestimate the fallout? We ain't forget black wrestling fans push back hardy. One of the most powerful reactions came not from celebs, but from the black wrestling community, a group that has long felt ignored, erased, and exploited by WWE's branding. The hashtag #WeAINT started trending late at night, filled with screenshots of Hogan's original 2015 slurs WWE's statements claiming he apologized, photos of Hogan with smiling execs just months later. Complete lack of punishment for years of microaggressions backstage. Then came the Merc/Yap. Independent sellers are already dropping Cube vs. Hogan t-shirts. We ain't forget hoodies and cancel racism, not talent wristbands. WWE might have thought this would blow over, but now it's blowing up. Meanwhile, Hogan stays silent as of now. Hulk Hogan has said nothing. No tweet, no IG story, no statement, and fans are noticing. One top reply under his last Instagram post reads, "Losing your voice again, Hogan. Funny how that happens when black folks speak up." Another fan commented, "You couldn't body slam accountability, huh?" The silence is deafening, and every hour that passes without a response makes Cube look even more right. Just when you thought the controversy had reached its peak, a secret recording surfaced that took this scandal to a whole new level. What started as Ice Cube torching Hulk Hogan's image and blasting WWE's complicit silence turned into something way darker, because now we know Hogan wasn't just being protected. He was part of a long-standing, behind-the-scenes power structure that's been allegedly working to blackball outspoken black talent, manipulate PR narratives, and maintain WWE's mainstream image at any cost. And this time, the proof ain't just fan speculation or former wrestlers dropping hints, it's audio. It's internal. And it confirms the cover-up Cube warned us about. The employee recording WWE never wanted publicly leaked audio. Published by an anonymous source who claims to be a former WWE corporate staffer. Captures a closed-door meeting from January 2021, just months before WWE reintroduced Hogan at WrestleMania 37. In the clip, which has now been analyzed and reposted by over a dozen wrestling news platforms, two high-ranking WWE officials can be heard discussing fan reactions and press coverage around Hogan's previous scandal. The most damning quote: "If we just waited out another year or two, the outrage dies, the fans move on. And let's be honest, the sponsors care about headlines, not history." Boom. That one sentence confirmed exactly what IceCube had accused them of. They, KNEW. Hogan's return would be controversial. They knew he hadn't fully apologized. But they banked on short memory and silence to carry him through. The WWE execs mention a blacklist policy for whistleblowers. The audio continues. One staffer brings up concerns about potential backlash from certain talent, specifically mentioning Titus and a few other ones who might cause noise. The response: "If they go public, we pivot. Say they're difficult to work with, or say they've gone off script before. Keep the narrative tight. We've done it before." Fans immediately link this comment to several former Zellers who mysteriously lost pushes or got quietly released after speaking out, including ACH Jordan Miles, who accused WWE of racism over the blackface-style shirt Sasha Banks and Naomi, who walked out in protest and were called unprofessional. Titus O'Neil, who was suspended for touching Vince McMahon on camera in what many saw as an overreaction rooted in control. Now, we know it wasn't just coincidence. There was a playbook, a narrative control policy, and it was being used to silence dissent and protect power. IceCube responds to the leak. Liv told y'all it was bigger than one man. Cube wasted no time reacting. He jumped on Instagram. Liv the moment the audio leaked and said, "I told y'all this ain't about one old racist in a bandana. This is about a system that ain't been checked in decades, and now they mad 'cause we turned the lights on." He also took aim directly at WWE's leadership. "I got love for wrestling, grew up on it, but don't think I'm gonna stay quiet when I know brothers been pushed out, smeared, and silenced to protect one man's legacy. Y'all messed with the wrong era." We don't forget. The live pulled over 800,000 views in 4 hours, and fans flooded the comments with, "We ridden with Cube." #PullHogan, now trending by midnight. Make that documentary ASAP. Tell it all. Black wrestling fans mobilize. Boycott trends begin, fueled by Cube's words and the leaked audio. A massive fan-led movement began spreading across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. #hashtags like #CancelHogan, #BlackWrestlingMatters, #No Silence, No Support started trending alongside video montages of Hogan's racist quotes. Black talent who were mistreated. Clips of Cube calling it out. Guess what? WWE's weekly YouTube views dropped 11% within 48 hours. Ticket sales for an upcoming live event in Atlanta dipped by 22% overnight. One sponsor, a national energy drink brand, paused their WrestleMania promo deal pending reputational review. WWE has gone into silent mode, and that silence is making fans even angrier. Hogan's camp finally breaks silence and makes it worse after 5 days of silence. Hogan's PR team released a one-paragraph statement. Mr. Hogan stands by his previous apology and has worked for years to rebuild relationships and foster inclusion. He regrets the past and asks for privacy as this matter unfolds. Cue the eye rolls. Black Twitter did not accept that half-hearted, recycled response. One user wrote, "Nah, you don't get to ask for privacy after being a public racist." Cube opened a door, and now we're walking through it. L of it. Another added, he regrets getting caught. Not the racism. Big difference. And the real kicker? Cube's team responded with just 3 words. More receipts coming. A final twist. A former diva says there's video proof just when we thought we'd seen it all. A former WWE diva, known for her explosive promos in the mid-2000s, tweeted something that took the drama to DEFCON 1. I was there. Hogan said what he said. And guess what? There's footage. Hidden for years, but I ain't afraid no more. Hashtag we ain't forget now. Fans are speculating that more tapes exist, maybe locker room footage, unaired promos, or deleted backstage interviews that WWE buried to protect Hogan. F that footage ever sees daylight. WWE might be facing a scandal bigger than Vince's undies. This ain't just wrestling gossip anymore. This is a movement, a reckoning, and Cube just might be the spark that brings the whole system to its knees. The moment Ice Cube fired that shot, downed. The leaked WWE audio dropped like a nuke. Entire internet and wrestling industry went into full meltdown mode. And this time, there's no sweeping it under the ring. This wasn't just fan outrage. This was celebrities, wrestling veterans, sponsors, and even rival companies reacting in real time. And the result? A level of chaos WWE couldn't contain. Even with their decades of spin tactics and PRPL, ABOOKS. Cancel Hogan explodes, fans refused to stay quiet, to start it as a slow murmur. Then turned into a tidal wave. Within 48 hours of the leaked audio and Cube's IG Live response, hashtag Cancel Hogan was trending at number 2 worldwide on X, formerly Twitter, with over 2.4 million mentions. Tweets: "We're brutal. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Period. Pull him out." Ice Cube said what we've all been screaming for years. So WWE can ban Sasha and Naomi for standing up for themselves, but they parade Hogan around like he's a hero. Miss US. Some fans even began emailing WWE's major sponsors with receipts, telling them, "Your brand supports this. Time to choose a side." And guess what? It's worked. Sponsors start dropping or demanding answers. 3 corporate sponsors, including a major tech brand, an energy drink, and a sports betting partner, reportedly contacted WWE, demanding clarification about the Cube fallout and Hogan's lingering presence in promotional material. One source close to the situation leaked an internal sponsor memo. "We are reviewing our involvement with upcoming live events until this PR crisis is resolved." Another brand quietly pulled its WrestleMania commercial ad slot, claiming schedule changes, but industry insiders confirmed the reason. They didn't want their logo anywhere near Hulk Hogan. And for a company that thrives off sponsors, this isn't backlash. This is a full-on financial bleed. AEW throws shade, and the fans eat it. Cross the aisle at All Elite Wrestling AEW. WWE's biggest rival, things got shady fast. During a live promo on AEW Dynamite, wrestler Swerve Strickland, one of AEW's top black stars, looked dead into the camera and said, "We don't glorify racists over here. We elevate the real ones." The crowd went nuts. Twitter went feral. AEW fans were ready to use this moment to drag WWE all week. Tony Khan, AEW's president, even liked several posts calling out WWE's Hogan cover-up, including one that read, "Imagine celebrating 40 years of WrestleMania with a racist as your host. Couldn't be us." Subtle, not even a little. And fans noticed. Wrestling legends come forward. Cube ain't lying. Even retired legends had something to say. Mark Henry, WWE Hall of Famer and one of the most respected black wrestlers, ever appeared on Busted Open Radio and said, "There's been a lot of cover-ups." Hogan ain't the only one. Ice Cube pulling the curtain back, and I respect it. It's overdue. Booker T, another Hall of Famer, remained silent publicly but liked several posts supporting Cube's stance, including one saying, "You can be a goat in the ring and still be a coward in real life." Meanwhile, D'Lo Brown, Rikishi, and The Godfather reposted Cube's interview with emojis and hashtag #WeAINT forget captions. The message was clear. This wasn't just Ice Cube's fight anymore. It was the whole culture's. Black wrestling media goes full BLA's. Content creators, podcasters, and black wrestling journalists united like never before. Podcasts like Black Wrestling, Grapsody, and The Public Enemy's dedicated entire episodes to unpacking the fallout, calling for Hulk Hogan's Hall of Fame removal, a public apology from WWE, a real roundtable discussion with black legends about the industry's racism there. Followers doubled overnight. Fan-led petitions crossed 50,000 signatures in a single weekend. Even The Breakfast Club and Joe Budden podcast picked up the story. This wasn't niche drama anymore. This was mainstream reckoning. Hogan's weak apology torn apart the cherry on top. Hogan finally released a personal statement through his publicist. "I've made mistakes in the past. I've grown since then. I love all my fans, and I've tried to be better every day." The response? Unanimous rejection. You loved black culture when it boosted your career. But you never loved us. Too little, too fake, too late. We needed action, not vague PR lines. Even celebrities outside of wrestling started chiming in. Ava DuVernay posted, "So the apology comes after the sponsor's call. Noted." Killer Mike tweeted, "Salute to Cube for saying what needed to be said. The truth don't expire." WWE silent. But fans say that's an answer despite the avalanche of backlash. WWE has remained publicly silent since their generic inclusivity statement days earlier. No direct response to Ice Cube. No acknowledgement of the leaked recording. No clarity on Hogan's status moving forward. And fans aren't buying it. One top comment said it best: "If you protect a racist in silence, that makes you louder than him." But we're not done yet, because Cube isn't backing down. And one last leak is coming. Just when you thought it couldn't go any deeper, when the smoke from Ice Cube's scorched earth statement was still hanging over the WWE's headquarters. Document leak hit the timeline that left the internet frozen. No rumors, no speculation. Black and white paperwork. An anonymous former WWE finance assistant just leaked an internal PDF file titled "Hogan Deal Terms 2021 Confidential Draft Final" PDF, and inside, proof that WWE was still paying Hulk Hogan behind the scenes, even after pretending to cut ties with him publicly. Yes, you read that right. The leaked Hogan contract. Hidden money. Fake separation. The leaked deal outlines a 3-year legacy ambassador agreement between Terry Bollea a.k.a. Hulk Hogan and WWE Entertainment Inc., signed off by Bruce Pritchard and a former VP of Talent Relations. Under the terms, $1.1 million annually bonuses for merchandise sales, Legends appearances, and nostalgia-based hosting, a non-disclosure clause blocking Hogan from speaking negatively about Vince McMahon, a clause allowing WWE to publicly distance from Hogan while continuing payouts internally beyond the exact thing Ice Cube warned us about. A cover-up, hidden in corporate contracts. And worst of all, that NDA clause confirms WWE had no intention of holding Hogan accountable. Instead, they were paying him to stay quiet and keep us quiet. The fans go nuclear. This was a cover-up, the whole time. Once screenshots of the leaked contract hit Reddit, X, and Discord, fan pages lit up. Posts like $1.1 million to a racist while black talent can't even get a push. WWE erased Hogan from the website in 2015, only to slide him a check every year since. How do you pay a man to be quiet, then put him back on TV like nothing happened? The hypocrisy couldn't be clearer, and now Cube looks like a truth prophet, while WWE looks like a corporate fraud machine. Cube reacts with a mic drop tweet. Cube didn't say much, but he didn't need to. He simply posted the leaked contract screenshot with this caption: "They said I was lying. Now what?" It got 2.1 million likes in 12 hours. Quote tweets from every corner of the culture. And the top reply: "We riding with Cube. Y'all thought this was a game." Final twist, a second page mentions Hall of Fame indemnity clause. The second page of the deal includes a chilling clause labeled HOF indemnity, Clause 11B. It reads, "Should Hulk Hogan face any new reputational damage, we retains discretion to shield Hall of Fame standing and release statements minimizing brand conflict." In other words, WWE knew more controversy could come, so they baked in a damage control plan ahead of time. This wasn't just shady, this was strategic. Is the Cube documentary next? With the culture fully behind him and Hogan's mask ripped off one final time. Cube's rumored Project Black Rings, the real history of wrestling, is back in the headlines. Insiders say it now has a major streaming platform backing it, interviews with a CH, Titus O'Neil, and even a former WWE lawyer. Potential footage WWE tried to suppress, including locker room audio and unreleased promos. If it drops, WWE might face the reckoning it spent decades dodging, because what started as a clip turned into a movement, and what Hogan tried to bury just got resurrected with receipts. Y'all, we just witnessed history unfold in real time. From Ice Cube's fearless interview, to the leaked WWE audio, to the $1.1 million contract revelation. And now, a full-blown movement that has the entire wrestling industry shaking. This ain't just about Hogan anymore. It's about corporate corruption, media manipulation, and a system that spent years protecting its golden boys no matter how dirty they are. So now we ask you, should Hulk Hogan be permanently removed from the WWE Hall of Fame? Should WWE be investigated for continuing secret payouts to protect racists? Was Ice Cube right to call them out publicly, and who should speak up next? Because, let's keep it a buck, if Cube hadn't spoken out, none of this would have come to light. And now, we demand more than statements. It won't change. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should WWE issue a public apology to the black wrestlers they blackballed? Should AEW step up and finally create a black-led pay-per-view? And are you still supporting WWE after what we now know? Hit that like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because this is just the beginning. Ice Cube opened the vault. Now we're all watching who's next to fall. Because in wrestling, the realest match is the one happening behind the scenes. And this time,